In a small village nestled deep within the forest, a group of witches gathered around a flickering fire, their faces illuminated by the dancing flames. They were performing a ritual to summon the devil, hoping to gain ultimate power and control over the land. As they chanted and cast their spells, a sudden bolt of lightning split the sky, followed by a deafening clap of thunder. The ground shook beneath their feet, and a dark figure appeared before them. The devil himself. "I have heard your call, witches," he hissed, his eyes gleaming with malice. "What is it that you desire?" "We seek power beyond our wildest dreams," one of the witches declared boldly, stepping forward. "We wish to reign supreme over the village and all who dwell within it." The devil grinned wickedly, his red eyes glowing with anticipation. "Very well," he said, his voice dripping with promises of darkness and destruction. "But know this, every wish comes with a price." And so, the witches struck a deal with the devil, sealing their fate with blood and dark magic. They were granted immense power, but in return, they had to sacrifice their humanity and serve the devil for all eternity. As the days passed, the village fell under the witches' dark influence. Blood flowed like rivers through the streets, and the land became a breeding ground for fear and despair. The devil's presence loomed over the villagers, his malevolent gaze watching their every move. One fateful night, a young man named Caleb stumbled upon the witches' coven deep within the forest. He witnessed their twisted rituals and heard their chants of dark power. But before he could escape, the witches caught him and dragged him before the devil. "You've trespassed upon our domain, mortal," the devil growled, his eyes blazing with fury. "You shall pay with your life." But Caleb was not afraid. With a fierce determination, he fought back against the witches, cutting off their body parts and casting powerful spells to ward off their dark magic. In a desperate bid for survival, he managed to escape the coven and flee into the forest. Meanwhile, a mysterious figure watched from the shadows, a tiger, stalking its prey with a hunger for vengeance. It had been bound by the witches' spells, forced to serve their twisted desires. But now, with Caleb's bravery inspiring hope, the tiger felt a surge of primal power coursing through its veins. As the village descended into chaos and madness, Caleb sought refuge in a nearby prison, hoping to find shelter and safety from the witches' wrath. But even behind bars, he could not escape their evil influence. One by one, the villagers began to fall victim to the witches' dark rituals, their bodies twisted and contorted by possession. Blood poured from their eyes, their screams echoing through the night as they succumbed to the devil's will. In a desperate bid to stop the madness, Caleb sought out the village elders, hoping to find a way to break the witches' curse. But as he made his way through the rain-soaked streets, he encountered a chilling sight. A deer, its eyes filled with sorrow and despair, its body bearing the marks of sacrifice. The deer spoke to Caleb, its voice filled with ancient wisdom and sorrow. It revealed a prophecy foretelling of a great battle between good and evil, where blood would rain from the sky, and the red sun would rise on a day of reckoning. With the deer's guidance, Caleb set out to confront the witches and the devil, his heart filled with determination and courage. But as he entered the heart of the forest, he encountered a plot twist that would shake him to his core. His own wife, possessed by the devil's dark magic, stood before him with a knife in hand. "You cannot stop us, Caleb," she hissed, her tongue falling out of her mouth in a grotesque display of demonic power. "We are everywhere, and no one can leave this cursed land alive." But Caleb refused to back down. With a mighty roar, he summoned all his strength and courage, facing off against the possessed villagers and the devil himself. In a fierce battle that shook the very foundations of the forest, Caleb fought with all his might, his blade cutting through the darkness and striking a blow against the forces of evil. But in the end, it was not enough. The devil's power was too great, and the village fell under his dark influence. As blood showered the earth and the red sun rose on the horizon, Caleb realized the grim truth. Good had lost, and evil had won. The witch's curse would linger over the land for eternity, claiming the souls of all who dared to defy the devil's power. And so, as the last traces of light faded from the sky, Caleb stood alone in the heart of the forest, his spirit broken and his hope extinguished. The prophecy had come to pass, and the village had fallen into darkness. But as he looked out into the night, a glimmer of light shone in the darkness, the moon, casting its silver glow over the land. And in that moment, Caleb knew that no matter how dark the night may be, there would always be a sliver of hope shining through. For in the end, time would heal all wounds, and the forces of good would rise again to combat the darkness that threatened to consume them. And as the stars twinkled overhead, Caleb whispered a vow of defiance. He would never give up the fight against evil, no matter the cost. And so, as the forest whispered its secrets and the wind carried the echoes of the battle to the heavens, Caleb stood tall and proud, his resolve unwavering in the face of darkness. And though the night may be long and the road may be hard, he knew that one day, the sun would rise on a new day, free from the shadow of evil that had once held them all in its grasp. Like and subscribe for more.